Most people believe that staying busy means they are making progress. Long days, full schedules, constant movement, endless tasks. From the outside, it looks responsible. It looks disciplined. It even feels productive. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Being busy is not the same as moving forward. And for many people, busyness is not a sign of growth. It is a system that quietly keeps them in the same place. Progress is not determined by how much you do. It is determined by what your effort actually builds. And most people never stop long enough to ask that question. They wake up. They work. They respond. They react. They stay occupied. And at the end of the week, they feel tired. But not meaningfully closer to anything. That is why two people can work equally hard for years and still end up in completely different positions. One becomes more focused, more selective, more difficult to replace. The other becomes more overwhelmed, more reactive, and more dependent on staying busy just to maintain their life. The difference is not effort. It is structure. In this video, we are going to break down the 5 hidden rules that separate real progress from constant activity. These rules are not loud. They do not create instant results. But over time, they determine whether your effort compounds or simply gets consumed. Because the real danger is not laziness. The real danger is working hard inside a system that never moves you forward. Before we begin, the hidden trap. Most people are taught a very simple formula. Work more, earn more, improve life. It sounds logical. It feels fair. But in reality, this formula has a flaw. It assumes that all effort has equal value. It assumes that staying active automatically leads to advancement. And it ignores one critical detail. Where your effort is being applied matters more than how much effort you give. That is why people can stay busy for years and still feel stuck. Not because they are not trying, but because their effort is not being directed towards something that compounds. Rule number 1: activity is not progress. The first rule is simple, but uncomfortable. Not everything that keeps you busy is moving you forward. Most people fill their days with tasks that feel necessary. Emails, meetings, small responsibilities, daily maintenance. Individually, each one makes sense. Collectively, they consume almost all available time. And that is the trap. Because these activities maintain your current position. But they rarely improve it. They keep life running. They do not change its direction. Real progress usually comes from a different type of effort. Effort that is focused, uncomfortable, often delayed in results. But most people avoid that kind of work. Not because they are lazy, but because it does not provide immediate feedback. It does not feel productive in the moment. So they return to activity. Because activity feels like progress. Rule number 2: urgency is often an illusion. Modern life trains people to respond quickly. Messages, notifications, deadlines, requests. Everything feels urgent. Everything feels like it needs attention now. But here is the problem. Urgent tasks are rarely the ones that change your future. They are the ones that demand your present. So your time gets filled with reacting instead of building. The rich in time, not just money, understand this difference. They separate what feels urgent from what is actually important. And they protect time for things that do not demand attention, but create long-term change. Because if you allow urgency to control your schedule, you will always be busy and never be in control. Rule number 3: focus is a financial advantage. Most people think focus is about discipline. But it is more than that. Focus is a multiplier. Every time you switch tasks, your effectiveness drops. Your thinking resets. Your depth disappears. And over time, this constant switching creates shallow work. Work that looks complete, but lacks real impact. The people who move ahead are not always working more. They are working with deeper concentration. They spend longer on fewer things. They allow effort to compound inside a single direction. That is why their results look different. Not because they are doing more, but because they are doing less, with greater intensity. Rule number 4: you are either building or maintaining. Every hour you spend falls into one of two categories. You are either maintaining your current life or building a future version of it. Maintenance is necessary, but it has a limit. It keeps things stable. It does not create growth. Building is different. It feels slower. It often feels uncertain. But it creates change. Most people spend almost all their time maintaining, paying bills, doing tasks, handling responsibilities, and very little time building, learning, creating, improving systems, increasing value. That imbalance is why progress feels slow. Not because they are not working, but because their work is not pointed at growth. Rule number 5: busyness can become an identity. This is the quietest rule of all, and the most dangerous. Over time, people begin to associate busyness with worth. If they are busy, they feel important. If they are busy, they feel responsible. If they are busy, they feel safe. So they protect that busyness, even when it is not helping them. They resist slowing down. They resist questioning their structure, because doing less feels like falling behind. But in reality, busyness can become a distraction from the fact that nothing is changing. It gives the appearance of movement, without the discomfort of real progress. Bringing it together. Now step back and look at these rules. Activity is not progress. Urgency is often an illusion. Focus multiplies results. Time is either building or maintaining. Busyness can become identity. None of these are dramatic. None of them create instant change. But together, they explain why so many people stay stuck, while appearing productive. The reality most people miss: the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not always effort. It is direction. Two people can work equally hard. One builds something that compounds. The other maintains something that resets. After a few months, the difference is small. After a few years, it becomes impossible to ignore. What you should do now: you do not need to do more. You need to do differently.